He took over an abandoned luxury home and lived there rent-free for 3 years. When I showed up to question him about it, he charged me with an axe. Now, years later, Jude Piskey has regrets and wants to explain why he was in the house. I'm surprised that we're sitting across from each other.
Yes, sir. I am too.
Why did you want to do this?
Because the last time we met, it shed me in a different light that I want people to know me as, because that's not me. Let me see here. What would you like to get you with?
The last time we met was 7 years ago. And this is how it ended.
Get out of here.
All right.
Go!
We're backing up.
No, leave!
We're leaving right now.
So of all the things, to get an axe and come at somebody with an axe, why would you do that?
I regret the way I handled it, because I should have maybe spoke with you more civilly and explained to you, and I wasn't in that state of mind. I was overwhelmed. I wasn't thinking straight.
Piskey was convicted of 3 counts of aggravated assault for charging me, our photographer, and producer.
We want to talk to you about why you're in this house.
I want to talk to you about getting out of here. How's that?
We were there because Piskey and his family had moved into an abandoned $500,000 home near Mount Juliet and claimed it as their own. They'd been living there as squatters for 3 years.
This is not your property.
Well,
The bank says you have no right to be here.
yours?
Our report from 2017 went viral. It's been viewed millions of times. Media around the world picked up the story and called Piskey the Tennessee squatter.
Seen interviews from Germany, and they took it pretty good over there, but they did a spoof of it saying hillbilly, Dukes of Hazzard, fat, just very derogative, very, very derogative.
Piskey, who is now 53, owns a home improvement business and says he stayed out of trouble. But he says the video continues to follow him.
If you Googled me after I came to your house to give you a bid, would you want me to do the job, or would you be scared of me, or would you give me a $10,000 deposit? I'd never intended to do anybody any harm in all that. I was trying to get a home for my house and my family, that's all.
The home he found was unusually nice. This video tour shows the luxury log cabin before Piskey moved in. Banks had foreclosed on its previous owner during the 2008 housing crisis, then essentially forgot about it. So it sat empty for years.
I just got more curious what to do in an abandoned house that's been forgotten by the banks.
And so you moved in?
Pretty much, yeah. I turned the power on first and got it. I didn't never even change the locks, I don't think, or nothing like that. I just turned the power on. I don't lock my door.
He paid all the back property taxes, added a water heater, and a heating and air unit. You walked into a house that wasn't yours. So how is that appropriate?
That I believe in my full heart that I was there legally and going about it justly, which is not, what everybody does, but I believe I was there legally.
Piskey cited a law of adverse possession,
Clear my name.
which says if you pay taxes on unclaimed property for 20 years, you can own it. It's common in property line disputes, but it's rarely used for taking ownership of a home.
I wasn't hiding. If I would have hid and act like I didn't live there, it wouldn't have been legal. Now, I shouldn't have put maybe a limo in the front yard, but it wasn't like it was broke down Volkswagen.
Legal or not, that limo in the front yard, along with other cars and trucks being stored on the property, upset neighbors who began questioning who was living there. They contacted us, and we waded through paperwork to find the New York bank that owned the property. At the time, they sent a statement thanking us for bringing it to their attention.
If that would have been somebody's home, not the bank owning it, I wouldn't have done that.
If somebody says he's a squatter, what do you say?
No, sir. I didn't go squat in somebody's personal residence like going that way you're talking about. People are going on vacation. People are moving in their vacation home and they can't get them out. That's not what I did.
And although a judge ordered Piskey to leave after our report, he says the bank paid him $10,000 for keeping up the home, which he says was less than he put into it. But he says it was worth trying.
I think the problem with the country is nobody can afford to live anywhere anymore. People can't afford a one-bedroom apartment.
Piskey now has a home that he didn't just take over. All these years later, he hopes people can see past that video.
I don't want 4 minutes or 3 minutes of my life to determine the whole what everybody thinks of the other 50 years of my life. I should have handled it totally different in hindsight.
All right.
Go!